that Lidia passed away, and the Society of Arts were extremely pleased to be able to stage this exhibition as a retrospective of Lidia's work. To me, it was just wonderful to be handling the actual works, and that as well, being a printmaker myself in being able to, and there's just something about black and white, which is just so inviting, so clean cut, and having known the artist as well. I mean, Lidia was just a wonderful person that was involved in the society. She was a member since about 1967 when she was introduced by Lidia Duda-Groblicka, and it was all of the Polish people, the artists, really put it together well. But I won't steal Stephanie's thunder there. Lidia was a fellow of the Society of Arts. She was also an honorary life member as well. So this is a really special exhibition for us to be able to stage this for her, for Tadek. And I'll just acknowledge too the fact that Roman is here as well. So it's really great to have Lidia's son here from Sydney too. So and Tadek too. We've also, there was a couple of apologies. There was Alan Smith, the Director of the State Library, couldn't be here, and Vicky Waller will be here later, our President. So I just also at this stage wanted to give a plug. We've also got some copies of Adam's book here, Lidia Duda-Groblicka, the Suburban Iconographer, and they're $35. If you want one, get in quick. We're hoping for a reprint, but it needs to be done. We've also got the Lidia Duda-Groblicka relief prints, which they're $5. We've done a reprint of those, which Stephanie actually did in 1990. And the catalogue. The catalogue is this one is $5, this one, the catalogue is $5 as well. It was one of those things that when I started doing the catalogue, I thought, okay, I just didn't want a list of works, I wanted to document and to have the photos of the work. And I thought, well, people would be pleased, because there's so many people who just love Lidia's work. So hence I put the photos in, so we had to charge. So sorry about that, but I'm sure that $5 you will, yeah, it's a buck. Okay, a lot of the works here are also from private collections, so the PC in the catalogue refers to private collections, but there are some for sale as well, so which to me is really, for the society is really good. Where there's been exhibitions at the Art Gallery and also works on show at the National Gallery in Canberra. But yeah, we've got paintings and we've got sketches, and people don't normally see those types of things of Lidia's, so I'm really pleased to be able to have those on display as well. Okay, so without ado, I'll introduce Stephanie. Dr. Stephanie Schrappel, who's been a long-standing member of the Royal South Australian Society of Arts, past president from 1985 to 1992. So she knew Lidia quite well as well, and all their cups of coffee that they used to have together and that as well. So yes. So I'll do that.
Right, welcome to this retrospective exhibition of the art of Lidia Groblicka. Lidia was honoured by a retrospective in the Art Gallery of South Australia, and now her work is also celebrated by this society, of which she was a prestigious fellow. I'm sure that Lidia would like me to thank her husband Tadek, because for his constant support, not the least of which was his terrific support of her regular trips to Poland and minding their cats while she was away. It was quite a job. And also her framers, George Sinclair and Carol Lloyd, who've done a wonderful job through the years. Chris Andrecki, who was terrific helping with this, Vicky Waller, Bev Bells, and the proud owners who've loaned their works, because it was quite something to part with them for a while. Born Lidia Duda in Poland in 1933, her parents were both teachers. Her father, a professor of natural history, which is why the flowers, the buds usually check the walls. Early in 1944, the family fled the Soviet annexation of their homelands to Nowy Sad. Lidia studied at the Krakow Academy of Fine Arts, specialising in woodcut printing, under the direction of Lidia Duda-Groblicka, one of Poland's leading printmakers, and she completed a master's degree in 1957. And a short aside, we haven't got the tapestry, but Lidia did the general course, and she was trying to decide, she told me, between the tapestry and the woodblock. But when she discovered there were no men in the tapestry class, oh no, thank you, she jumped to the woodblock class, which is, sensible. Her early woodcuts displayed the influences of the then current fashion, the Soviet realism movement. Her sympathetic portraits of the proud peasant workers glorifies them and their work, yet the powerful and rhythmic lines lend the prints a harmony and gentleness unusual in work of this genre. Lidia herself explained, "It is a little bit of sadness in the European autumn. The drying many-coloured leaves rustle and smell good. The young summer is coming to an end and everything is getting quieter. For the villagers it is harvest time and they are often tired. Before the beginning of my last year at the Academy, I wandered many days with the sketchbook over the autumn fields and villages, and I was sketching everything that appeared to my eyes. These sketches became the material for the series Autumn, which includes Potato Digger's Funeral and Autumn Town. From 58 to 65 she lived in London and became reacquainted with a friend of the family, Ted, who'd reached London via Siberia and India. They married in February 58, and in 59 their son Roman was born. For part of the time in London, Lidia attended a sketch club offered by the local art school and run by the Polish emigre community. With pearwood unavailable, she was forced to use linoleum, and Judy Robertson, curator of prints at the Art Gallery South Australia, noted her complete change of style, from rhythmic hatched line work to contrasting solid blocks of black and white, and you'll be able to pick it yourself going around the exhibition. The family migrated to Australia in 65 and lived in Sydney until relocating in Adelaide in 66. In 67 she joined the Society of Arts on the advice of fellow Polish artist Vlad Dukavich. Since then she's exhibited regularly with the Society and with Off the Beaten Track Gallery, then Sydenham Gallery run by Rachel Bevan, who provided friendship and support and held her first solo exhibition in 1970. She also exhibited with the Australian Polish Art Society in Adelaide, and later years Pepper Art Centre and Art Images, and was a member of the Print Council. And she's been solidly working her whole life, no question. She was elected a Fellow of the Society in 72. She generously gave demonstrations of her printmaking and talked to school students and always enthralled her audiences. As she said, "In my works I use visual language which is as simple as possible. My art is to be understood even by housewives and children. In spite of my critical comments, my paintings and prints are pleasant and positive. There is no need to shop, and we're very thrilled to have one work in this exhibition which shows her teaching ability. We have a lovely lino cut, just a lino block done by her son Roman, and it's based on going through the Suez Canal. You've got the pyramids and a mummy. So it'd be fun for you to find that. It's one of the blocks, it's not on the wall, but it shows she taught her son too. She used the wood cutting tools she'd brought with her from Poland, and they're on display in the exhibition. Unable to get pearwood blocks here, she used the reverse sides, and when they were used up, she discovered that custom wood, a more refined compressed wood chip particle board, was suitable for her work. She never used a press. She printed all her prints by hand, burnishing the ink onto the paper. Her work is intensely personal. Expressionist woodcuts of daily life in Poland, her experiences as a refugee, responses to the Australian suburban environment, her love of dogs, cats, trees and flowers, her feelings of alienation and longing for Poland, and her concerns with contemporary problems of greed and materialism and its effect on the environment. She explored religions from an agnostic, not an atheist point of view. She explained that to her, we human beings are like bugs. In the set Bugs are presented scenes from the bug's life. And she explained the tree series, I like trees. We have quite a few trees growing in our front garden just behind the window of my room. One day, while looking through the window, I found that each tree is so very different from another. On one of the trees, birds were resting. I said to myself, it is a tree of birds. After this, 2 words came out in a chain of other pairs: crying tree, sun tree, etc. The words evoked pictures inside of my eyes, and then it was only a matter of selecting the nicest pictures and cutting them out. Over the years, art critics have recognised the uniqueness of Lidia's work and acknowledged her technical mastery. Elizabeth Young, the advertiser of 1973, involvement with the past, dramatic and domestic life in her youth in Poland, a poignant awareness of human isolation and the everyday problems of living provide themes for many of the paintings, drawings and woodcuts. A restricted world whose impact, so purely stated, is inescapable. Then Marjorie Hand, also a Fellow of the Society of Arts in the Messenger Press, Lidia Duda-Groblicka is an extremely versatile artist with more than one style of expression. Her woodcuts are splendid. Horses, spring, workers have the linear fluidity of Van Gogh, and the solidity of the labourers depicted recall both Van Gogh and Millet. In others, Cathay Kollwitz and the German expressionist of De Bruyne come to mind. And then Ivor Francis, another esteemed fellow of the Society. She is one of the most originally creative artists the Society has at present. Her glass boxes is social comment executed with characteristic sympathetic good humour, restraint and artistic integrity. And he never gave praise without being thoroughly deserved. And lastly, from Adam Mickiewicz, in his book, her importance has flowed from the single-minded pursuit of her own style and voice, which ranges from human empathy to wry amusement to dark satire, and her insistence on observing people and political power structures. She has asserted her opinions and attacked cherished beliefs and small-mindedness bluntly, while honing her technical mastery of the medium of black and white, one-take editions from woodblock, and all the while she has sought to communicate her ideas and experiences with utmost clarity. She's represented in the Royal Society collection, the Art Gallery of South Australia, Gallery Australian Museum of Now is such, among, of course, a lot of others. On a personal note, when I first saw Lidia's work at Rachel Bevan's gallery, and that would have been before 1970, it made a deep and lasting impression, and I've sought out her work ever since. When I then met Lidia, I discovered the richness of her personality, the depth of her concern for the human condition and environment, her love of dogs and cats, and not least her sense of humour. Serving with her on the Society Selection Committee and arranging works was a constantly enriching experience. I miss her keen judgment, often expressed as, "That is art." That is not art. Her perceptive analysis of current events and our enjoyment of the recuperative coffee and cake at the State Library coffee shop. She's left us a very impressive and challenging legacy. Thank you.
That was, it was kind of, it's really great to be able to have this exhibition. It was, I can remember all those times on the selection committee and that in her comments, and it was just great to be standing next to her and hearing what she had to say. It was really good. Now, I would also like to acknowledge the fact that that you're drinking Scarpa Tony wines, and hopefully you will enjoy those, and hopefully maybe purchase some at some stage when you're looking for wines. I would also like to just make note to any members who are here that Pat at the desk is looking for extra names to go on the roster, so if anyone wants to give us a few hours, we would really appreciate that. So, and Pat will definitely appreciate that. So, thank you very much, and I would like to
Thank you.
A nice bottle of
Thank you.
Scum.
Certainly appreciate it.